big blasting forehand. Roger Federer can't handle at the net. Jimmy Connors looking
Speak of the devil.
And he's all dressed up in shirt and tie and jacket tonight.
He's expecting something special tonight.
Love 15 with Federer opening on serve. Missed by Roddick to 15 all. The crowd, of course, excited by the tiebreak victory in the third set by Venus Williams just a little bit ago on the same court, eliminating Jelena Jankovic, the third seed, to meet Justine Henin in one of the two women's semifinals.
Well, seeing these first 3 points, I don't think there's any question that Andy Roddick is going out there trying to be the aggressor. Any chance that he gets to hit a forehand, looks like he's not leaving too much in the bag. I think that's the strategy he's got to go with against Roger. Can't give Federer any time to work his magic back there.
No, and again, it was effective for Feliciano Lopez in the opening set, and even for John Isner. I think that was more just about that big serve, which Roddick also has. So you might as well let it all hang out against this genius of the court here, Roger Federer, and take all your chances. It's wide, and so the hold for Federer. Opening game of the match.
I think there are two good things that happen when you really play aggressive to the point of not giving, Roger any chance to dictate play. The first thing, obviously, is that you're going to be forcing the issue, and if you happen to make these shots, you're going to be getting easy balls. You're going to be getting short balls, planning coming in, and you're really taking away Roger's ability to dictate play. And the other good thing is, even if you miss, Roger loves playing good points. He likes playing long points and getting in the feel of the match, so you're not really giving him any rhythm. Obviously, the downside is you're going to be making a little bit more unforced errors. But I think that's what Roger makes you do. He makes you have to go for that little bit extra, or that lot of bit extra.
It's wide. Love 15, and the Roddick serve, his first service of the match. Men in black, kind of interesting. Both two different manufacturers here, Nike and Lacoste. And the big service ace from Roddick. I'm sure we'll see a bunch of those, 15 all. But the one thing that is a fact of life for Roddick is that Federer has had success returning Andy's first serve, probably more so than any other player Roddick faces. So that means he's got to be pluperfect with placement just as much as miles per hour. 30-15. See, like that. Roddick, Federer he's able to pick those up.
I think it's just such a tough matchup from the baseline for Roddick because Roddick goes backhand to backhand. He meets up with Federer's backhand, and he's just a little bit better on that side, able to mix play up, slice the ball, pull Andy out wide, and Andy can't quite get the same pace on that backhand. And then he goes forehand to forehand, and you're talking about one of the best forehands in the game.
Well, you want him to serve and volley more.
I want him to be aggressive. If he doesn't serve and volley, I want him to rip the first ball as hard as he can.
Federer knocks that long. Roddick at 40-30.
Bottom line is, Andy's in a losing situation if he has to play rallies. If he has to basically start the ball out of his hand and play baseline points, that's a losing situation for Andy. He wants these points to last no more than 3 shots, win or lose. Especially on his serve. I think if the point lasts more than 5 shots on his serve, may as well give it to Fed.
That was, I think, about 6.
Yeah, and even if, you know, Andy's gonna win some of those points, but Federer has the clear advantage.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree with you. We're at deuce. First service game for Roddick. Well, all of the conversation and discussion about the what ifs on behalf of Roddick, you know, make it entertaining and interesting. We'll see what he can do. And that's good.
Perfect. That is textbook tennis for what I think. You see Coach Jimmy Connors giving a little clap. It's textbook tennis for what I think Roddick has to do out here. Big first serve, approach forehand, and you know what? Federer's going to make you play a tough volley. You got to suck it up, and do it.
Just wide, so Roddick holds.
On the right, far side line.
Going to be a challenge, as Federer thought he might have got it. From here, it looked like it's extremely close.
That's an early challenge. Federer is feeling confident about that.
Well, he shouldn't be.
The call stands.
It's out anyway.
Again, Roddick.
So Roddick is even at 1.
1 game over. Federer has 1 challenge remaining.
Match starting just a little after 10 p.m. So the Night Owl crowd that loves the excitement at the U.S. Open, guaranteed, I would say, that they'll be here till after midnight. Last night it was about 10 minutes to 3 when Rafael Nadal and David Ferrer finished. But this match probably won't go that long, but who knows? Pretty love Federer. Great job by David Ferrer last night.
That was amazing. He played such aggressive and such high quality tennis. And so much energy out there. He was just jumping around all over the place, bouncing off the walls.
He loved every minute of it. Yeah, that's good pressure from Federer. 40 love. Well, I know Roddick fans can see this and don't want to hear it, but Federer appears to me to be sharper in these first couple of games than he was in either of those matches we saw him lose the first set.
Which is to be expected. You know, he's playing John Isner
and Feliciano Lopez.
And obviously he's got tremendous respect for Roddick, even though he has the 13-1 record. So he's going to come out a lot sharper.
2 games to 1 on serve in the first set. Roger Federer on top. First point to Roddick, 15 love at 1-2. Down the center line. Federer gave it a look, but it was...
He did give it a look. I think maybe if he had those 2 challenges, he might burn one.
He might.
There, but used it earlier, so just keep that one in the pocket, just in case.
He misses the forehand after stabbing the return back.
There's a murmur in the crowd after that 146 mile-an-hour bomb by Roddick.
Ooh, that's up there, isn't it, in his category? And big service game from Roddick, holding it love, 2-all.
Get a good look at that big first serve. That was 142. That would have been an ace on most mortals, but Federer still able to get his racket on the ball.
Good play by Andy Roddick. Excellent backhand tester down the line to the little looper and puts away.
That was an awesome backhand by Roddick. Just taking a crack. Again, keeping the point short. It's got to be his goal out there.
Love 15-second serve. Let's see what he does with this. Federer knew exactly what he was going to do with it, and Roddick put it within shooting range for Federer.
That's just ridiculous. Most people would see Roddick just flailing away outside, but that ball is hit so hard. Normally he'd at least get a play on the next ball. But Federer is so good at handling that pace. He's able to just redirect it.
30-15.
Again, if I see Andy Roddick just keep getting pushed further and further behind the baseline, I just think there's a little bit of a mental breakdown there. He's just got to take risk earlier so he doesn't find himself that far back. If he makes a mistake before he's allowed to get pushed that far back, then that's fine with me.
Now he played a really good point, and Federer winds up with that lob and turns it into a winner. 3-2 Federer, opening set. (3-2) on serve, Roger Federer in the first set here. Best 3 of 5, men's quarterfinal action. The winner goes to the semis to meet Nikolai Davydenko, the number 4 seed in the tournament. He's pretty efficient against Tommy Haas today in straight sets. Andy Roddick will serve now at 2-3. Big serve, 15 love.
Andy's really been impressing me with his first serve percentage throughout this tournament. Again, the biggest server on tour and able to get anywhere from 70 to 80% of his first serves in. That's really going to help him tonight. He's going to need it.
I think that hit the line off the net cord.
That'll count as a winner.
It did indeed. 15 all.
That's just bad luck right there. Andy hit a great serve, coming in to serve and volley, keeping the point short. Just got to shrug it off and come back for the next one.
Comes up with the ace, number 3. And makes a good return, does Federer, and then misses the backhand. But I think that's where ultimately Andy gets discouraged when he sees that ball come back like that on return, because so few other players can accomplish that against him. But he's at 40-15 in this game, so, and he couldn't get that one back, so the hold for Roddick.
Roddick should expect it, though. He's played Federer enough times now and seen his best serves come back enough times to understand that it's not a fluke. Federer's going to be able to do that.
Unless he has perfect placement. Just my point is just that it does put even more pressure on Andy. He's got to be perfect. He's got to make sure he's got not only all that speed, but he's got it in the right place.
And that's the trick if you're Andy, is not to press too much. I mean, obviously, you do have to focus hard and step up your game a little bit to play guys like Roger Federer. But if you try and do the things that you do well, like the serve, if you try and push it too close, it's not going to end up being a weapon out there. It's going to end up being a liability. It's going to start missing, maybe hitting double faults. So controlled aggression on the serve and an all-out assault on every ball from the baseline.
Big forehand and reply with a forehand of his own from Federer to 30 love. 50 career titles for Roger. 11 Grand Slam victories, 5 Wimbledons, 3 here at the US Open in a row, trying to make it 4, and 3 at Australia. And that's a good shot from Andy Roddick. The pass.
Good approach from Federer there. Roddick just able to flick that just out of Federer's reach.
Roger won his 50th tournament victory at Cincinnati on the lead-ups to the Open, then lost to Novak Djokovic in Montreal, so proving he's human and giving Djokovic, who's still in the thick of things, some reason to think he might be able to win himself another match over Federer, and he'd love to do it here. Next for Djokovic is Carlos Moya. Good work at the net by Andy Roddick.
That's so awesome to see from Andy Roddick. Again, he totally knows how he's going to play this match. Just come out being aggressive. Not the best volleyer on tour, but he knows that's where he's got to win these points. He does not want to let Federer get control of those baseline rallies, so trying to make points quick.
40-30. Second serve ace down the tee with Federer seeing Roddick leaning, and he holds for 4-3. No breaks or on serve. New ball shown from Roddick to Federer after 7 games. And Roddick delivers the ace. 15 love. Number 4. Pass from Federer to 15 all.
This used to be a big weakness of Roger Federer's, that backhand pass. Now it seems like one of his strengths out there.
Oh, it is. It is one of his strengths. He can do everything on the backhand side. You know, roll it, and slice it, curve it, drop it, whatever. 30-15. Good shot from Roddick with that forehand right to the line. 1-2 punch there for 40-15.
Great aggressive stuff from Roddick here. Again, it's not the easiest of forehands. He wasn't well inside the baseline. I think it was the right shot.
Ace number 5 and a whoop from Roddick. Feeling pretty good about things at this point. 4 all in the first.
Roddick's got to be pumped. This is as easily as he's held serve against Federer in most of their meetings. He's holding serve convincingly.
He was even going to go after that.
For a second there, it looked like Roddick was going to eat the planter on the end of the court.
Miss on the forehand. 30 love, Federer. Oh, great forehand. 40 love. So the hold for Federer at 5-4. I think we might be seeing a couple of tie breaks tonight. Pretty much count on. We'll be right back. Andy Roddick serving at 4-5 to stay in the first set. Haven't had any problem holding so far. Neither player has. Yet to see a break point.
I'm so excited for Roddick right now. I just hope that he has the conviction and the belief in the way he's playing Federer tonight to just stick with it, even if he loses this first set. It's the only way that I think he has a chance to win this match.
Jammed him there with a body serve. He's moved the ball around very well in the box in his big first serves. 6 aces included. Second serve here at 30 love. And this is on the forehand, 30-15. I would think we'll see Roger start to get a little more aggressive on the second serve return if Roddick gives him the opportunity here late in this set.
And he's hitting these things pretty hard. He's hitting them around 110 miles an hour.
Let's see what he does with this one here. This is huge for the set. Now he's got a rally. And Roger wins that. 30 all. Little sniff here at 4-5 now for Federer. Crowd exhorting Roddick. Second serve. Nice kick on that. Good job by Roddick.
Well, we've seen a couple times that serve and volley on second serve, and not letting Roger get in the rally. Saying, if you're gonna beat me, you're gonna have to pass me, or have me hit a winner or an error.
40-30, another second serve. Federer's had 3 of these to look at in this game. That won't go for Roddick. Deuce.
It's so tough to approach to an opponent's forehand, let alone Roger Federer's forehand. You just leave a lot of court open. He's able to do so much with that ball over there.
And that was huge. Game point for 5 all. And the ace, that'll do it. We're all even at 5 first set.
Are we going to have a replay of the Agassi-Sampras quarterfinal? No breaks for the whole match?
I somehow doubt that.
It'd be impressive if Roddick can hold his serve for the duration of this match, that's for sure. You know, there's a good chance Federer will probably be able to do it after what we saw the other night. 32 straight points.
That was an amazing performance. After Lopez had done so well by just pressuring, letting it all fly in the first set. Federer with a forehand error going after that. 15 all. It's out.
It's so tough for Roddick. Once Federer has time on that forehand, just able to dictate play so effortlessly. Able to whip that forehand around wherever he likes.
Open court, no mistake from Federer. 40-15 to get to 6-5 here in the first set. And serving first in the set in this kind of a matchup, the way it's going, is a pretty critical advantage. In this circumstance, with that hole, now the pressure totally on Andy Roddick to stay in the set. He's got to hold the next game.
It's a new thing that they implemented here at the US Open, putting the ball kids in the middle of the court so that they can't start play until
the commercials are finished.
Up here. We're ready for them. Because Roddick gets out of the chair so quickly. We don't want everybody tuning in missing a half a point or a point for that matter.
Well, you and Andre Agassi apparently were told on his commentary on the USA telecast in the United States, arrived at the same conclusion. He can't win those very often. He's got to try to keep the points short, and that was exactly what you said at the top. So Federer with the first point of that game.
As I said earlier, I don't think that there's any benefit to Roddick just not unleashing on the ground.
And it's long. 15 all.
If he plays passively, I think a few things happen that are bad. You know, he gets Roger Federer into a groove. He's probably going to lose most of those points. And he starts backing up behind that baseline. We've seen him do it in the past. Just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper and more defensive in the court. So I think he should err on hitting errors rather than letting Federer play.
(40-15), a point from the tiebreak. Missed it long.
And here we go.
Into the first tiebreak, and I'm saying the first because I have a sense we may see more than one. Jimmy Connors has got to feel pretty good about what Roddick achieved here in this first set, sticking to the game plan, and it's exactly the one you described. He only got into about 3 rallies, and he was forced into them. Tiebreak records. Federer serves the first point. Federer against Andy is 8-1 in tiebreaks. Good pass from Federer. Stab volley try fails from Roddick.
And here we see that point again. Federer just able to come up with a great backhand pass. But, I wouldn't recommend Roddick doing this strategy, the super hyper aggressive strategy, if these players had only played a few times. But seeing as how they've played 14 times and Andy's only come away with 1 win, he obviously, in his normal game, doesn't have what it takes to beat Federer. So you have to do something drastic.
Oh, yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Bill.
I mean, it's not the strategy you'd go out with 99% of the time, but Federer is that 1%, 0.1% for that matter.
1 point apiece at the moment. Deep down the line from Roddick, a miss on the forehand from Federer. 2-1. Andy Roddick. Next 2 service points to Federer. First to win 7, he must win by 2. The change ends after 6 points.
I think it's so funny how Roger Federer is so calm out there and so effortless looking, and Roddick is just sweating up a storm and running on everything, and that's how I play. I run on everything and put out a lot of effort. But that's intimidating in itself, how easy it looks like it is for Roger Federer.
Well, I think you got 2 different metabolisms at work there too. Andy's just this huge bundle of energy and itchy twitchy. Got to be moving all the time, and Roger is by nature a more laid-back personality, and his mind is a little different. 3-2, Federer. Four points to 2, Federer. Will change ends. For instance, as we watch this replay, how long do you think that Andy Roddick would be sitting on a sofa watching an NFL football game before he has to get up and go get the popcorn or a cold beer from the fridge?
Yeah, that sofa get pretty hot.
And then, yeah, I mean, maybe a couple of minutes, and whereas you can picture Roger, watching a movie or something and just kind of stretching out and staying nice and quiet for half an hour or more.
You wouldn't pin Andy to be the one to sit down casually and read a book, would you?
4 points to 3. Two service points now for Federer. Missed it. A little quick on that trigger. 4-all.
You see the rare miscue by Roger Federer. And not missing by much, couple inches.
Pass from Federer to 5-4. 2 service points come now to Roddick.
And we see that pattern happen so many times where Roddick gets a forehand like this, goes to the Federer forehand and follows it in. Federer's too good over there. I don't know if I would direct the attack. I'd rather take the lesser of 2 evils and go to the backhand side. Even if he's sitting over there, I think it's a better play.
Oh, wow. What a shot. 6 points to 4. Now Federer a point from the first set.
And here you see the other evil. That backhand pass. So much improved. Just nothing Roddick can do. And he's doing the best he can.
Good job by Roddick, staying on it. And trying to get the crowd in there with him, and that's an easy chore here because they want nothing more than to see Andy Roddick. Most of them in this audience love to see the upset. They like underdogs by choice, and if it's an American underdog at the US Open, well, that's a given. Must win by 2, so Federer at 6-5. And there he is. 7 points to 5 has the first set against Andy Roddick with an ace as a punctuation mark. Andy Roddick will serve to open the second set. Roger Federer with a set in hand, tiebreaker, 7 points to 5.
Well, we touched on it briefly, but I don't know what Roddick can improve on. He did exactly what he was supposed to do out there, had chances to win that second set, but just couldn't come through in the end.
This point's not over yet, nowadays.
You'd hope that Roddick would have enough experience to say, all right, if I play like that again, I'm probably going to have a chance to win this set. And maybe even if Roger dips his level a little bit, if his level drops, then I'll win it with a break. But, you know, so many times we see these youngsters go out there, play a great first set against a champion, and then try and play even better. And then they fall apart.
Roddick at 40 love, opening game of the second set. And throws in the ace, number 8, and has a hold at love. There were no breaks in the first set. It went to the tie break, won by Federer 7 points to 5.
And there are the set 1 stats. Again, if you're Roddick, you just got to scratch your head and say, well, I got to reproduce that. I got to do that again. I think that if I put those numbers back up there in the second set, there's no way Federer's going to win this set off me. But unfortunately for him, Federer has proven different. But again, you have to lie to yourself out there. You have to tell yourself that that is good enough to win, because I don't think that Roddick can play too much better than that.
Well, no, I don't either. What you're saying is really exactly what he has to do to try and make something happen positively for him. And he did play an extremely good first set. 30 love Federer. Well, it's interesting that the only guy who's beaten him recently, not counting the 2 to Kanyas when he was not on his game and everybody realizes that it really didn't count much, was as he holds here easily to 1-all. Novak Djokovic in a final at Montreal just a few weeks ago, a tune-up for the Open. So you have to accept that this was not for Roger. There wasn't a whole lot at stake. He's trying to get some match play, get ready for the Open. But Djokovic plays completely differently than Andy Roddick does. And that kind of a game was a game that came out in a victory. Whether how much Roger put into it or not being really not relevant. Great job by Djokovic. Roddick's game is a lot more limited than Djokovic, even though he's got the bigger serve. So it would appear that a game with more variety has a better chance.
I think the edge that Djokovic has over Roddick is the fact that his forehand is a little bit more aggressive. He hits it flatter. You know, Andy gets into trouble by hitting too much topspin, getting a little bit defensive. His backhand can be more aggressive. He just has more weapons apart from the serve. And, and Djokovic's serve is very, very good. So we see here that Roddick relies so much on getting that first serve in and setting up that 1-2 punch, whereas Djokovic can actually, you know, stay in these points. He doesn't have to press quite as hard as Roddick does.
30 love, Roddick. Call long. Roddick peers at it. I think Federer is saying it's on the line.
Replay the point.
And the linesman did change his call. Roger agreed. Linesman agreed. Everybody agreed. Roddick's happy. Replay the point. He jumped all over that. That's a good serve.
I don't remember hearing Roddick grunt so much before. He's really putting some effort in out there. He's got to, though. I think that's what's so fun to watch Roddick. Sorry, I think that's so fun to watch in Roddick is his just fight out there. He's lost to this guy 13 times. There's been some pretty bad beatings, especially the last meeting they had was a pretty rough go for Roddick. But he's out there, and he's looking for blood. He wants to win this match so bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's what this New York crowd loves, and everybody loves about Andy Roddick, is he's just got so much fight. It's like a pit bull out there.
40-15. And it's long, and so the hold. One apiece here. 2 games to 1, pardon me, Andy Roddick. The great Boris Becker here in the tennis. Boy, I tell you, there's a lot of stars from tennis, other sports, Hollywood, films, television. I can remember Andy in post-match interview at one of the times at Wimbledon where the announcer might have been Sue Barker, BBC, talking about the rivalry, and he said, "What rivalry?" At that point, it was about 8-1, I think. And he's got a great sense of humor about the reality of it. You know, it doesn't mean that he's not trying to turn it into a rivalry. He'll do everything he can. Nobody ever doubts his desire and his willingness to do whatever it takes.
I think the potential for the rivalry is obviously there, but you know, there is a hint of a rivalry just because these players play so much. They're both such consistent winners that they always seem to play each other late in tournaments. But Roger Federer just seems to have Roddick's number.
Well, it is as simple as that.
Yeah.
Second serve ace.
He has a lot of numbers out there.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got a big directory. (40-15).
And if you're Jimmy Connors, I just don't know where you go from here. You know, what do you? If you could walk out on the court in the changeover, what else would you say to Roddick?
No. He can't. He's got to be completely happy with what Roddick's doing and accepting the result.
His effort out there has been unbelievable.
Sure. No, that's not, I don't think that's at issue at all. You're trying to make Roddick the best player he can be, and if that's, you know, number 2, number 3, number 5, whatever it is, it's certainly going to be in that range. He's proven that. Then, you know, then they've both done their job. I mean, it's a nice, quixotic task that he has trying to chase and catch Federer. And Don Quixote did a lot of riding around, didn't necessarily achieve his goal at the end of the day, but he kept the impossible dream. Love 15, little bounce from Federer. He'd like to get a break here to make things more comfortable. Great body serve from Roddick. 15 all.
And you see Roger getting jammed with that serve, and he's shown a little bit of vulnerability to that serve, the body serve this week. And not enough to really worry him too much, but he's looked uncomfortable at times.
30-15 on serve, 2 all.
It's been so good.
Well, the challenges providing some more excitement.
Good eye by Federer.
The call is also overturned.
Can't blame the linesman for missing the occasional Roddick serve. Oh, he had snuck in there nicely. Federer misses the volley.
That was a great little chip from Roddick. I think he saw Federer sneak in behind that, and he was able to get that low enough over the net to make that volley a little tricky proposition for Federer.
6 errors for Roger. That's terrible. Against 24 winners. Big serve from Roddick, the hold. And he's up 3-2 in the second set, but down a set to the top seed.
As dire as it is for Andy Roddick, he's still in there. I mean, lost that first set in a close tiebreak, was up a mini break.
I like your attitude, Taylor. He's still in there.
Still in there, you know? Come on. And he hasn't teetered off. You know, this is what we'd expect from a guy with Andy Roddick's experience and toughness. Just maintaining his level of play. He's giving Federer an opportunity to just have a little mental lapse out there. Just take a little walkabout, as my dad would say.
He's hoping. Walkabout, that's an Australian thing that Yvonne Goolagong was famous for. During her great days as a champion, she would kind of wander off a little bit and keep an opponent in the match who was otherwise beaten and ultimately would be anyway. Great champion that she was.
Roger's just got so much game. There's not a shot on the court that I think bothers him. Able to mix that backhand up, hit the short chip. Not give Roddick any opportunity for a pass. Coming in, playing a tough volley. Just a very impressive display. Really the first ball we haven't seen Roddick just run for with that reckless abandon.
And there we see Mirka, girlfriend of Roger, and his dad there, and sweater around his neck, Robert. And the hold for Federer at love. And we remain on serve here. No hint of breaks so far. 3-all in the second. Federer has the first set in hand. The tie break. Huge serve. Well placed. And again, we talked about that's important because otherwise Federer with his great eyes and hands, he can return the first serve, but if it's out of reach, nobody can. And he's done a good job. Placement of that bomb. Well, he shakes his head. I mean, what can you say? What
I'm shaking my head, and it didn't even go over me.
I mean, I mean, it was just absolutely perfect. and not so easy to hit. Look at how low it was. He kind of stretched out to make it. Look at that.
And he a little backspin on
Yeah.
that volley and just stopped dead, and Federer was still able to.
And Roddick's a tall guy, so, you know, you've got to get it up. I mean, just incredible. 30-15. Oh, he missed it.
Those errors hurt. I mean, at 40 love, yeah, it's fine. At 30-15 to bring it to 30 all. This is as good a chance as either player has seen for a break. Love to see Andy get a first serve in here in his corner.
Point from 4-3 for Roddick on serve here in the second. That was long. The hold for Roddick. 4-3 in the second set. Roger Federer serving at 3-4 here in the second set. He has a set in hand against Andy Roddick. Tim Ryan and Taylor Dent. This men's quarterfinal action. There's a little extra venom when he gets to those and swats them away. It's not just the fear that it might come back from the great Roger, but just the satisfaction, I think, of really giving it an extra cuff.
He started that grunt on his way into that ball.
Yeah.
Like a train coming in.
Love 15. And in one graceful shot, the points recovered by Federer, 15 all.
There we see the serve. He saw it was effective. Wasn't really serve and volley until he saw how good the serve was. And just nice, easy volley.
See, those are the ones that Andy looked behind him and saying, "Are you kidding me?" Hits the line, wrong foots him. No chance. 30-15. Rare miss. 7 errors in all, Federer. Only 3 in this set. 29 winners in the match to this point.
And this is the type of game Roddick's hoping for.
And Roddick's got 29 of his own. Open court, another winner there. Game point. To even at 4 all in the second.
Here we go.
What do you know?
Couple errors from Federer. That's not unusual. A good point from Roddick. Get to deuce. Hopefully for Roddick at a second serve here. Take a rip. Let's maybe end up with a little break point opportunity.
Well, you got second serve.
Here we go. I'd just say rip the cover off this thing.
Break point, first of the match by either player.
Curious to see if Andy's going to use the crowd here. Doesn't look like it. This is a big moment. This could be potentially the second set all wrapped up. He's not helping the crowd get fired up here.
Well, they're getting into it.
Yeah, guess they don't need too much, but love to see him try and make Roger feel it.
Going to have a second serve on break point at 3-4. It's long. Is any call?
Yeah, I think
chair.
No, I think the umpire called it long. There was moans. It was drowned out by all the moans.
By the moans. Okay.
Missing such a big opportunity on a second serve. And what bums me out is he didn't even go for that much. He just tried to start the rally.
Don't you be cheerleading too much here.
You know, Federer's been so dominant. I just want to see a good match here.
That's fair. Oh, he ran around it and missed it long.
Even if Roddick did make that, I think he was going to be lucky to come away with the point there. Now, Federer add in to get this to 4-all.
Think he knows where the ball is? Good serve. Sets that easy shot up, and we are 4-all.
There's Elena Stasi. Nasty, as they used to call him.
Yep. He was only nasty on the court. He was and when he felt like it. He was basically a pussycat off the court. Fun guy to be around. A little nutty. There's Guillermo Vilas. Shared the parking lot with him last night after the late match. He was here to the bitter end for the Nadal loss to David Ferrer. Well, the tennis greats out here tonight. It's quite wonderful to see. Stan Smith is around. We've seen Becker and Agassi. Vilas here tonight.
There's a lot of Grand Slam titles in those seats tonight.
Yeah. Andy Roddick gets to 40 love. Crowd likes that.
Again, not much to say here on Roddick's serve. Just great aggressive play. That's exactly what he needs.
Another big serve. And he's still pumped. He's still believing. 5-4 on serve. No breaks. First break point went to Roddick. Failed to convert, and there's only been one so far in the match.
Had the better chance to break here. Both these players have been so good on their serve, except for that one game we just saw.
Oh, boy, there's a rare miss of that shot. That's his bread and butter kind of volley. I think he might have thought maybe I should just let this one go, but he doesn't show that on the replay. Looks like he was playing it all the way. Love 15. A little buzz in the crowd with that.
That's what the best players do so well. They play a bad point like that missed backhand volley from Federer, and they come back and they play a very good strong point. First serve in, good first ball. So important.
And forehand miss. Federer 2 errors in this game. 15-30. A little sniff for Roddick here. Hit a break point. The last service. Well, let's slam that door shut with an ace, number 10.
Again, following up a pretty mediocre point from Federer with a first serve. Good enough for an ace.
He's got one more than Andy Roddick at this point, 10-9.
Andy hasn't been serving quite as many aces as he was those years ago when he won this title.
Here's another one. That's how you cool the fire out.
Go look at that relaxed, easy motion. Serve out wide. And again, Federer's serve so tough to return because he can hit all the corners.
You could hear Roddick all the way up where we are exclaiming as he mishit that one. So the hold, we're at 5-all. Second set. Just a repeat of the first set so far, with the exception of that one break point. In this set, Roddick, because he served first, is taking the lead. Oh, just missed it long. Just the way he changed the racket face on that in order to keep the ball where he wanted it along the line on a full run, and nearly made this shot. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous.
Such a clever play by Roddick, because normally when you're at the net and you see your opponent open up that racket, it means one thing, a lob's coming.
A pass again from well off the court by Federer.
Again, coming into that forehand's a risky proposition. Federer's able to do just so much with this ball. And even if Roddick makes this volley, there's a good chance Federer's going to win the point on the next shot.
15-all. Forehand long from Federer. 30-15.
Federer's already at 7 unforced errors for this set, which is, by his standards, quite a lot. Only we've seen him around 3 at the most.
No, it's not for lack of trying. Look at the effort here by Roddick to stretch back to that. Just way too good shot from Federer. 30-all.
Yeah, you just see Roddick get wrong-footed a little bit there. He was leaning to the forehand. And just giving Federer enough time to sneak that pass cross court.
(13 of 23 at the net for Andy Roddick. A little over half the time he's going in. It's not a huge percentage. Not what he needs up there. There's a game point. That's wide.
I think he'll challenge that.
Well, he's going to be wrong.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yes. Oh, come on. Come on.
Roddick, after a long look, deciding not to challenge it.
Deuce. Big serve. Again, the placement there. Too good for Federer to get a good amount of racket on. Game point for 6-5 in the second set. Federer with a set in hand. Tiebreak winner in the first. There's the ace. That's number 11 for Roddick. Now Federer will have to hold to get into the tiebreak in the second set. No breaks. One break point is all we've seen. Roddick had it, failed to convert. At 4-3, at 4-3 in the second set. Federer at 15 love needs to hold here to force a tiebreak in the second set. Andy moved over, anticipating it coming wide, and down the tee it came.
We've seen that 3 different times from Federer. And Andy just being aggressive, trying to run around that backhand and rip second serve returns, but Federer able to sense when he's about to do it, or see him out of the corner of his eye and just adjusts. We've seen Roddick at times take a little bit longer.
Well,
a little extra time in between the points.
He goes to the towel after almost every single point, you know, whether he needs it or not. And he's not the only guy that does that, but that's becoming a bit of a bore in the game, I think. And I guess Federer is letting him know what he thinks of that. That's long.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Well, but he doesn't got to do it. That's the
well, he might.
I don't get the gain. I can see occasionally where it's you know, you need to slow the tempo down. Good return. Long. And we're in the second set tiebreak.
You don't believe in playing a little head game every so often?
I do believe in it. I do believe it. I just think it's like anything else in life. You know, there should be moderation. And you know, it's just gotten to be kind of a part of the game now that's frankly boring for the fan. It just delays things, and it's needless. It's different if you're
a little game within the game, though.
I know it is, but you pick your spots to do it when it's going to have some effect. Doing it after every point's not going to achieve anything except get the other guy mad. In Federer's case, you don't want to do that. Good aggressive play by Roddick. Good encouragement from Coach Connors. Looks like a bank president tonight there, Jimmy.
It does.
Those.
He's planning on accepting an award after Roddick pulls out this match for the win.
1-0 in the tiebreak.
It's just so amazing how Roddick cannot get control of any of these points. If he just miscues just a little bit, gives Roger that extra bit of time, it's just almost a foregone conclusion.
Second service point to Roger Federer. First to win 7 points. You must win by 2. Capture the tiebreak. Missed it long. 2 points to 1.
And if there's a couple people out there wondering why Roddick doesn't slow down Federer all the time, it's because there is a little rule in there. You do have to play to the pace of the server. So if Federer's repeatedly at the line waiting to serve and Roddick's holding him up, then the umpire's going to step in and let Roddick know that what he's doing is against the rules. So
well, and sometimes that towel act is done by the server. It's not always done by the returner.
And then you have your given amount of time. I believe it's 25 seconds.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's becoming overused. Oh yes, superb. 3 points to 1. Federer. Second set in hand.
And just great backhand passes by Roger. Not passing Andy on the first ball, but getting it below the level of the net, forcing Roddick to hit the ball up.
Yeah, and it even gets Federer jacked a little there. This is the forehand. Big serve from Federer to 3-2.
I gotta say, it's fun to see Roger get fired up and feel like he's in trouble out there. Because you never know what's going on. He's got such a good game face. It's nice to see him feel it a little bit. Normally you don't see emotion until the last ball of the tournament's hit. You'll see him lay down on the ground, but up until then he's got you know, the stone face.
Yeah, Roddick wins a rally. 3-all in the tiebreak. Sprints down to the other end, changing after 6 points of play.
That baseline rally giving a boost to Roddick, which it should. He doesn't win many of those, and it's a big time in this tiebreak to pull out that exchange, that rally again over 5 strokes, which we talked about. He's not winning a whole lot.
I think he's only won 2.
So it's a good time for that second one.
And there haven't been very many because, you know, he has been following your instructions, trying to keep the points short. And Andy's done a good job of that. Great change up on the serve, completely threw Roddick's timing off. Never recovered from it.
Yeah, it was a great second serve, and also that forehand's unbelievable. He didn't have any angle to work with, seemingly. And then able just to whip that ball close to the sideline. From behind the baseline, just amazing forehand.
2 service points to Roddick at 3-4. How's that return? Well, he wins another rally. 4 points all.
Federer had a chance to gain control of that point, but shanked a forehand and let Roddick resume the assault. 4-all, this is such a big point for Roddick. He's got to hold on here.
I mean, what can you say about that?
I don't know what to say about that. It's so frustrating.
A Superman return of an absolute bullet, 140.
I mean, 140 miles an hour on the backhand side. And
5 points to 4, right to the feet of Roddick.
and it's not only the fact that he hit that return then, it's the fact that he hit it at 4-all in the second set tiebreaker. I mean, what a time to come up with that type of return.
Well, that's when you need it, right? So
I guess so.
That's what he does.
Sure, why not?
Second serve. Roddick went for it. Missed the forehand. 6 points to 4. Set point.
And you see Jimmy Connors, Coach Jimmy Connors, just saying, that's all right. You got to take that chance.
And Mr. Federer, he's not going to be smiling until the set's in hand.
I haven't seen him smile yet.
And that gets a genuine fist pump from Federer. 2 sets to love in this quarterfinal. Roger Federer, a pair of tie breaks over Andy Roddick. Roddick has done virtually everything you could expect short of winning the tie breaks, and that is the difference in the match and in the ability of Roger Federer to hold off these challenges against every player out there. That's why he's number one, has been for 180 plus weeks. And why we are, and it's why we are treated to and should be mindful of that we are seeing this unbelievably great player in our time. I mean, if you're a tennis fan, you're blessed to say you were in the time of Federer to watch this guy, because there aren't going to be many coming along behind him that are going to be able to touch him. He is the quintessential tennis player of all time.
And how do you not watch those 2 sets and just feel for Andy Roddick?
You have to. I said that. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he's done everything you can do. He had the game plan, stuck to it, executed it well. And all he's done is miss a couple of points in each tiebreak.
What a fighter he is. He's out there. He ran to the back of the court, did a couple high steps, getting fired up for this third set, and then coming out strong. You know, 15-30.
Well, you never doubt Andy Roddick's competitive spirit. You can hear Andy saying, "Don't move so early," because he knows how Roger can kind of literally hold the ball on his racket and put it where he wants. He sees you going. 30 all.
And that's the problem with not moving early. You know, it's just kind of like you take your poison. Are you gonna watch Roger hit a winner cross court if you stay home and wait for him to hit the ball, or are you gonna guess early and see him hit a winner up the line?
Runs around the forehand and gets it. The deuce. Good play, Roddick. On the second service.
Yeah, this is a great second serve from Federer, but you know, Andy taking his chances.
How often do we see that? Guy makes a good play, wins the point well, comes back and slaps him with an ace. Just as a little reminder. It's out. So Roger Federer holds for 1-love here on the third set. Well, that was it. Otherwise, dead even battle except in the 2 tie breaks. Both won by Federer. Roddick now at love 1, third set, 15-love. All.
Roddick just seems to be teasing. Sorry, Roger seems to be teasing Roddick with that little slice, just kind of baiting him, saying, "Come on, come over to the forehand." And Roddick continuing to just do what he can, assault that backhand side of Federer.
Well, those are great shots from Andy Roddick and great retrieves by Federer. You think sometime he would just let one go, since, you know, kind of what does it matter? But he plays every point.
That's to his advantage, just still getting in the head of Roddick. Somewhere along the line on a big point, Roddick's going to play one too close to the line and miss it. Maybe just like that. Trying playing it too perfect because Roger ran to those balls where he probably didn't have to.
Yeah, quite right. 30 all. .40-30, Andy Roddick. Trying to get to 1-all here in the third set. Nope. Had to reach and wound up slicing it out. Deuce.
And again, Roddick choosing to come in on that Federer forehand. It's really tough. I'd much rather see him get passed off that Federer backhand than the forehand.
Well, if the result's the same, does it just look nicer to you, or what?
I just feel like the backhand's a little bit more vulnerable than the forehand.
I know you keep saying that, and I keep trying to convince you that it's not.
Well,
and
I
what,
think
what
Federer's
you see, you can see that it isn't.
No, again, it's not vulnerable compared to other players, but his forehand, in my opinion, is the best in the game. So I don't understand. You just try and limit his exposure over there. Just don't let him get any. Again, the lesser of two evils
Okay,
out there.
that might be more appropriate. And Roddick gets the hold after a bit of a struggle. We're all even at 1, third set. Well, some folks have left the arena, but there's still a sizable crowd here, and those are the diehards saying, come on, Andy, break him. And he gets the first point.
And it's just unbelievable. These are the type of points that Andy has to play to make any impression in the Federer serve. You see Coach Jimmy Connors even saying, it's a hell of a shot.
15 all. An hour and 40 minutes of playing time. Approaching midnight in New York. Andy Roddick holding up Roger Federer. Somebody walking down behind him. That's long. And even that chop shot that he sometimes has to make when he's stretched out still comes back, you know, with some zip on it.
It's an awkward shot to play.
Absolutely. It's like a squash type shot, and he's just another one in his repertoire. Wide. 40-15.
And those last two backhands, you just kind of get the feeling like that's Roger Federer making Andy Roddick miss those balls because he just knows how good he has to hit it to really hurt Roger from the baseline.
Yep.
I believe he was inviting one of the members of the crowd to come out and try and do something out here.
Yeah, well, I guess they must have made some kind of unpleasing remark to him. Roger leaves that one short. 40-30. Beauty down the line. The hold for Federer, 2-1 in the third. It's been entertaining, and we've seen a tremendous effort by Andy Roddick, but we've seen the superiority when it counts in the two tie breaks by the #1 seed, Roger Federer. And he's got a 2-1 lead. And, you know, there's no give up in this guy. I mean, he's got that energy still happening all over the place, and he's not going to go away. He'll do whatever it takes. He'll leave his body out there. Great respect for Roger Federer and great belief in himself that somehow he can turn things around. And just a tremendous effort here and a well-played match by Andy Roddick. You know, and if it ends in 3 tie breaks and say, well, he went in 3, you know. I mean, that's like saying that Gimmelstab went in 3 in the opening match, and when he played it actually, you know, a very good 3 sets against Andy Roddick. But nobody's going to remember that. It's the straight set win for Andy. And Feliciano Lopez and turning in that set against Federer, and he Played great. And here's a challenge.
Did you get a little preview of the replay?
That one's in. Our man. And the ace down the center line from Roddick. A point from 2-all here in the third. Crush that. 141. And it comes right back at him. And then the pass. I mean, this is the credit to Roddick. I mean, that would take the heart out of most guys, this kind of stuff. And yet, you know, he just goes back there and pounds away again, gives himself another chance.
It's basically like a boxer just taking body blows and, you know, every type of shot
Yes,
he can take.
Yeah,
and he's just
trying to
hanging in
land
there.
one
He's like,
knockout punch.
He's like Rocky Balboa out there, just taking everything. On the chin, he just, you know, puts his chin back out there. He says, you know, give me some more.
Yeah. Well, he holds. Just to show how tough he is. He's got a dialogue going with fans all over the place now, Andy. Of course, his new coach used to do that a lot.
Sure, Jimmy Connor's sitting on the sideline saying, wow, glad I didn't have to deal with that.
Oh. Well, I think there's an awful lot of great players who said that, watching Roger Federer play and appreciating his greatness at the same time. Dirty love. And a hold of love for Roger Federer. 3-2 in the third. Two games to 3. Roddick serving. We're all on serve here in the third set. Every set has looked the same. A lot of the points have looked the same. Andy Roddick with 77% first serve percentage and 14 aces. Federer at 62%. That's pretty good, and he's got 14 aces also.
And that was an opportunity for Federer there, just miscuing on the forehand. We haven't seen that too many times.
Well, he's got to kind of create a game within a game here too, and that's just to say, I'd like to have at least one break in the match, and to try to somehow crank it up, do something different or more aggressive or whatever he thinks it's going to take to prove that he can break Andy at least once in the match, because he'll leave here bothered by the fact that he didn't.
I think Federer now is 10-1 against Roddick in those tiebreakers.
It's out.
And as dominant as that is, the tiebreak is still a very precarious situation. You know, sometimes it comes down to just one shot.
I heard one player this week refer to it as a lottery.
A lottery.
I forget who that was, but I thought, yeah, there's a lot of truth in that. I think it was Juan Monaco from Argentina. .30, a little look for Federer here in a second serve. Long rally. In comes Roddick. It's on the line. And there's the winner. 2 break points, the first Federer's had in the match.
And the only thing I can think there is if that had been Djokovic at the net Roger probably would not have been able to have a look at that pass.
But it isn't.
Yeah, it isn't. Unfortunately for Andy, he's just capable of making those miscues at the net. And hopefully for him, he can come up with a couple of big first serves here. Boy, does he need them.
Well, Roger smells blood here. I mean, he hasn't had a break. He doesn't want to have the writers asking him after the match, you know, you win, but you didn't break him once. I mean, no, he went down the line on the high side, and that's it. One breaker saved.
Roddick's laughing there, I'm sure, because this is the best look that Federer's had all night on a passing shot, and this is the one he misses. Looks like maybe I should just lob him in there.
Another break point. You can see Federer now. He's just going to keep the ball in play. See what Andy does and react to it. Slices that. That's long, and there it is. Federer with the first break of the match. 4-2 in the third. Two games away now from the semifinals. Oh, two good shots. It's out. 15 love.
And some of these balls that Roddick's missing right now, he'd never normally miss against anybody else on the Pro Tour, except for that man across the net.
Pretty love.
You just saw Jimmy Connor's face after that break happened. Just like, wow. Don't know how Andy's going to get back in this match.
A little serve and volley. I mean, that's called out. Now Rogers is just giving him every shot looks a little different. Different spin, different place, different angle. He came in behind that one.
Crowd trying to give Andy just a little bit more oomph.
And then again, cool him out with an ace. 40-15 for 5-2 in the third. And that's long. Rare miscue. 18 unforced errors now for Federer. Right on the line. Great shot from Roddick. The deuce.
There's a big return from Andy again, forcing Roger just to lob the ball back. Give himself time to get back in the point, but Andy's not leaving anything.
No, he's just competing like he competes. Just wide. Game point again for 4-2, for 5-2, pardon me. A little extra on the second serve from Federer. And it caught Roddick. 5-2. He's a game away from the semifinals. First break of the entire match. The 4-2 in this set by Roger Federer. And now Andy's talking to the crowd, telling them to try and be quiet during the serve.
I think it was actually a supporter trying to cheer him on.
Yeah, right.
He's just going to hit the serve, and he says, "That's really going to help me." Yelling out while I'm tossing the serve up.
Yeah, well, that's why he was gentle about it, and he didn't ask the chair to do it, did it himself. And he's a fine young man in every way, and there's a lot of respect that Roger Federer has for him. Especially because he'll fight to the end. Yeah, and that's why, just as Federer does, so when he sees it in an opponent, he'll be the first to recognize it and applaud it.
I think this is a great lesson for all the juniors out there. You know, if you're feeling rough, feeling down about a certain situation, I mean, look at the poise and look at the composure Roddick's had out here. I mean, he's playing against a guy who's just got his number every time. And he's come out here, lost 2 tough sets, 7-6, 7-6, and still fighting hard.
Well, you know, John McEnroe always reminds people of that great chestnut. Here's the match point of Vitas Gerulaitis and Bjorn Borg, who had beaten him like whatever.
It's like 16, 17
yeah,
times.
He said, you know, nobody beats Vitas Gerulaitis 18 in a row.
That's right.
He missed it long. No, it's good. It's good. Got the paint. Federer acknowledges that. Still a match point for Roger Federer on Roddick's serve. And he wants it to, if it's going to end it, he wants it on Federer hitting a winner, not a Roddick error. Federer just keeping the ball in play, and it does end on a Roddick error. But it is Roger Federer, the magnificent one, despite a tremendous effort by Andy Roddick. It's Federer going to the semifinals in pursuit of his 4th consecutive U.S. Open championship. Another brilliant display by this brilliant tennis player.